Hi there, we're from Rubinoff and Rubinoff. We'll be doing a presentation over the current operations and future strategies of Rejuvenating Spa Inc. First of all, we will be analyzing an internal environmental scan. We've noted with their vision statement that they haven't incorporated any future strategies. Furthermore, they also haven't accounted for stakeholders and customers within this statement. As for their mission statement, it does capture the purpose and objectives of the company, but fails to include the competitive advantage. They've also noted that they want to develop their community and have environmental initiatives, but they also haven't included how they will do this within their mission statement. As for key success factors, we've noted that really their location is what's really their biggest strength. And so with their location, they have a clean facility, they have competitive pricing, and as a result, they have a great reputation. Also from this, they also provide great services to their customers. For their goals and stakeholders, we've noted that they have weak shareholder agreements. 3 out of the 10 board members are involved in the company's overall operations, but there's no overall direction to where the shareholders and stakeholders want to take the company. As for competitive strategy, they do provide quality services. However, they do lack strategy on where they're going to be competitively advantageous within the spa market.
So now we're going to talk about the financial analysis. We're going to cover the ratios. When you look at the liquidity ratio, we can see that the current ratio or the asset ratio is low. However, the cash current debt coverage has improved and it's getting better. They're actually cash flow strong. We look at the solvency ratio. The times earned ratio is very high, as well as their debt to asset ratio is low. It's almost close to 70%. That means if any future funding is required, maybe the shareholders love to invest a certain portion of the finances. The profitability ratio overall is very strong. Now we go over to the next slide and we're going to talk about the qualitative constraints. They can raise funds basically from 3 specific categories. First is the bank loan. Second is a private loan from Blair Cummings, and the third is a shareholder investment. If they borrow funds from a bank loan, they can raise up to 15 million. However, there are a lot of constraints attached to it. They have to maintain a certain debt to asset ratio or debt to equity ratio. They have to audit their statements as well as prepare the statements on an ASPE model. Whereas in the private loan, they can negotiate these terms and conditions. And if they do go ahead with the private loan, the shareholders will also have to invest a significant portion of the finances. Now I'm going to give it over to Daniel to talk about the first strategic option.
Alright, so the first strategic option would be to combine RSI and Lavish. One of the main pros of this option would be that it would create a cohesive strategy for both companies to follow as one. It results in some cost savings because you would need fewer employees for the administration, accounting, information systems, and banking. Also, it offers a centralized structure which makes decisions move a lot quicker throughout the company, and the financial statements would be consolidated. So most banks require consolidated financial statements for loans, and it makes the company look stronger. In terms of cons, the operations are currently very different, so there'd have to be training between operations in order for them to function properly. There are currently different accounting policies, different customer services, different client targets. So to create a unified front, there would have to be a lot of changes made in terms of what the different locations offer. Technically, they're more profitable separately, but we'll get into that a little bit more going forward. So with this option, the mission vision works well. There's no problems there. In terms of the quantitative analysis, like I said before, technically it's more profitable separately, but that's mostly on paper, and I'll point that out in a minute. In terms of financing, there's no new financing required, and really there aren't any changes for reporting and tax since those are consolidated anyway. So, as you can see on the graph, separately there's a lot more net earnings coming in than if they're consolidated. However, this is due mainly to the fact that RSI currently receives dividends from Lavish, so if you take that out, it drops about 100,000. As well, there was amortized goodwill if the companies combined. Both of those things don't actually affect the net cash that the company will be earning in total. For option 2, we're looking at franchising. Some of the main pros for franchising would be the fact that you can take over a large market share very quickly because you're moving geographically a lot faster than you could if it were just on your own. Also, you have diverse knowledge offered by many different franchisees, and they can help each other, and this can make the company grow stronger. Some of the cons are the fact that you get different values from different franchisees, and it might be hard quality control wise to keep everything the same. Currently, Sally Rice is an excellent CEO, but she's already overworked, and none of the other board members have any free time. This could take a lot of time to implement, so that could be an issue. Once again, the mission and vision works well together for this strategy. Quantitatively, to cover the startup costs, you need about 8 franchises. Then after those startup costs are covered, annually you need about 5 franchises to cover ongoing costs. The upfront costs to start are $250,000, and the ongoing activities is $70,000. Nothing new to report with reporting and tax. So here you can see that it costs about $250,000 to start up. However, moving forward, you wouldn't have to cover all those costs your first year. As more franchises are added, those costs get covered. And then for ongoing years, you have approximately $70,000. So if the company employs, or if each franchise employs 3 therapists, then it will take between 4 and 5 total franchises to cover those costs. Next we'll have Christine, who will talk about the other options.
The third strategic option for RSI is partnership with FFL. This option has the following pros. First, it has lesser risk to RSI. It also allows access to existing customer base. It's also a great opportunity for RSI employees as the current therapists can train the new therapists. There will also be a goal integration between FFL and MTC. And lastly, it provides diversity to RSI current operations. On the other hand, the cons are there is no brand promotion for RSI in this option. It is dependent on FFL's financial stability. There are also additional startup costs and thorough due diligence is required. Partnership will expand RSI operations geographically and in new markets, so this is in line with the mission of RSI. Based on our quantitative analysis, profits for this option will be 3 times the initial investment. The initial financing required for this is just below $50,000. However, it may incur additional costs. In case of partnership loss, there will be reduced taxes payable. Going forward, partnership should consider incorporation because there's a reduced tax rate, it protects RSI assets, and also it provides flexibility on transfer of ownership interests. This is just the slide for the return on investment on the initial year. As you can see, there is like more than 3 times combined for the large center and small center in just the initial year. The last strategic option is to acquire Pure Substances Inc. Here, the pros are there will be vertical integration between RSI and Pure. It also improves brand image of RSI. It has also a growth potential as many large retailers have expressed their interest to carry the brand of Pure. It also promotes social and environmental responsibility. On the other hand, the cons are RSI has no experience in manufacturing operation, thus this is too risky and it could lead to increased costs if implemented improperly. It has also increased foreign competition and very high production costs. It also, ethical issue may also arise in this option. For the mission and vision, acquiring Pure Substances Inc. align with RSI mission of providing services environmentally and friendly products. However, it doesn't align with its mission of becoming a reputable leading spa or client-centered spa. Based on our quantitative analysis, Pure has a decreasing profits over the last 3 years and also a reduced significant cash balance, so this is not good. Financing is dependent on the purchase price and shareholders' investments and also the ability of future earnings to cover the interest debt. There is nothing significant that may impact the company about the reporting and tax on this option. Now I go over with Jasmine for our recommendation.
Okay, so the main issue is how to expand RSI's operations and grow profitability in the future. So considering both the pros and cons of each strategic option, we determined that the main criteria is relating to achieving its mission and vision and aligning with it. So because of that, we have decided that we should consolidate RSI and Lavish. Here again, you'll have one brand identity. You can also have cost savings. Next, we would like to implement the partnership with Forever Fit Limited in massage therapy centers. Again, this is aids in your mission and vision to expand, and then as well as it doesn't take on as much risk. With the franchise RSI, depending on the success of the partnership, so maybe after a year to implement and continue expanding RSI. And with the Pure substance, there are significant risks involved, and because of the lack of expertise, we recommend foregoing this opportunity. So as for our implementation plan, we recommend RSI and Lavish the consolidation to be implemented immediately. Again, having those cost savings of joining supporting functions such as accounting, administration, information systems, and then having the partnership immediately as well with FSL. Again, it provides high profitability success, and it can help implement and work your way into franchising RSI and expanding further for the company. Again, delay this by a year to help gain that expertise, and then you can take advantage of the market share in the growing spa industry. So the impact of this is kind of a 5-year plan that we have implemented. This will achieve your goal of growth and profitability, and then providing returns for the shareholders. And then again, this will encompass RSI's vision to become a reputable leading spa company, and then be able to have growth and expansion in the future. We thank you very much and open now the floor to questions.